Well, here it is. That's right, I finally got my greasy little hands on the Google Pixel 4a. Yes, I know there's quite a bit of coverage on this phone already, as with everything you'd seen so far on my channel, I'm always late to the game. But this won't stop me from documenting my journey and opinion about this phone. First thing to notice is how surprisingly small the box is, especially compared to the box of the only other Pixel I've ever owned, the Pixel 2 XL. I can already guess as to why, as this phone comes in at 5.81 inches, and from some of the other videos I've seen, this shouldn't come with any earphones, even though it still retains a 3.5mm jack. I do like Google's packaging with these new pull tabs instead of having to find a sharp blade to cut through the seal. And here we have it, the phone in all of its glory. It is quite actually unique that it's displaying the back of the phone instead of the front like most other manufacturers would. There is a nice contrast color of a minty green power button on the side here. Let me just set the phone aside for a second while I get into the rest of the box. Here's the good old fashioned paperwork that no one cares about, and the SIM ejector tool at the back of it. Oh my god, I wasn't expecting this, but we actually get some earphones in the box. Hold up while I check this. Yep, I wasn't wrong. It seems like in some regions you will get earphones within the box, and luckily in Australia we are fortunate enough to get it bundled together for the 4A. Sucks to be in North America! And next we have a USB-C to C cable, an A to C file transfer adapter, can't go wrong with having too many of these. And lucky last is the 18-watt charging brick. Alright, time for my favorite part. Ooh baby. And just giving another quick look on the side profile with that mint green lock button and the volume rockers underneath it. Moving to the top, you can see the 3.5mm jack, which back in the days were generally located at the bottom. The 4A is noticeably light, probably the most lightest phone I've held in such a long time. There is a rear mounted fingerprint reader which feels like the exact same texture as the rest of the backing, with a slight dip for you to feel it out. And moving on to the bottom here, we just got your bottom firing speaker grill and the USB-C connector. And to the left is where your SIM card will call home. Just holding the phone in my hand, instantly I know it's going to be an easy phone for one-hand usage, unlike those other behemoths in the market which exceed 6.5 inches. After powering up the phone, you'll notice that there are some very slight bezels around all four edges. The glass being used here is Gorilla Glass 3, I think we're up to something like Gorilla Glass 7 now, but at this price range, cutting corners like this is to be expected. You know, I actually missed the G sign when powering up the phone. This is quite reminiscent for me. Ooh, I quite like this new opening animation. I'm just gonna quickly set up the phone, so bear with me. So we are greeted here with this darkish blue wallpaper, which I quite like. Now, I haven't used Google's new navigation gestures, so I may look like an idiot every now and then. Just moving around the phone really does make me miss the simplicities of Google's flavor of Android. Everything is just so minimal, which is a far departure from the Note 10 Plus I've been using. I'm going to take a few shots of my little bonsai with Google's magical camera here. So, unlike most phones in 2020, the 4A only has one camera at the back and one at the front. But I honestly don't mind that it doesn't have 4 cameras at the back, where other manufacturers generally put one good primary shooter, one low quality wide angle lens, and a trash as fuck macro and monochrome camera. I'd much prefer for them to stop putting useless cameras at the back of the phone just to boast that they have a bevy of cameras in which you'll never ever touch or use. Manufacturers need to keep the cost down as well as a clean looking camera array, which brings me to what I don't like about this camera setup. Why in the goddamn world does this have a stove design for a single lens camera? Look at how much cleaner the 3A and the 2XL look with their single lens non-stove design. And now look how stupid the 4A looks. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for more lenses as that gives you more versatility when shooting different scenes and different situations, but manufacturer really needs to get on top of this shit and come up with a better design than some fat ass square or rectangle to house all of their cameras. I don't know what I hate more, phones with notches or phone with stove camera modules. Moving back to the display of the phone, it is a full HD OLED panel with a 443 pixel density, so the blacks are black and colors are very vibrant. 4A has a peak brightness of 650 nits, which is pretty good but not amazing, especially when facing direct sunlight. I kinda like the fact that Google kinda gave you one option when it comes to both storage, RAM, and color, which takes the headache out of picking colors or storage variants. Most people I know slap either a case or a skin on their phones anyway. A nice welcome change is the 6GB of RAM and 128GB base storage, which is much needed in 2020. I don't think Google could have gotten away with another year of having 4GB of RAM and 64GB of base storage. The phone runs on the Snapdragon 730G processor. The G stands for Enhanced Graphics Performance and not 5G. If you want 5G, you'll need to either look at the Pixel 4a 5G, which houses the Snapdragon 765G. The G in this case actually stands for 5G this time. Yes, I know, very goddamn confusing. Or the Pixel 5, which also has the 765G. Anyways, this unboxing has gone on for a lot longer than I anticipated. I'll save further pros and cons for the full review. I also want to do a quick shout out to everyone that has supported me so far, whether that be buying me tech to unbox and review before returning it to them, just like this Pixel 4a right here, or just by supporting by watching, liking and commenting on my video. I've just hit a milestone of 10 videos, so I'm going to move on to the next phase for this channel. This is Els Tech Space. I'll catch you in the next one.